We could just go snap to a Slim Jim.
He's trying to snap into a Spider-Man.
I've never known spiders to make any kind of snapping noise. Crunching, absolutely. But snapping, no.
They're arachnids. I imagine it's like lobsters. If you get them big enough, and you'll get the snap.
We don't want them that big, Lewinica.
No, we don't.
Do not bring those curses upon us.
No, no, we really don't want them that big. But I'm judging by the.
I mean, I've seen Eight-Legged Freaks, and it was funny, but also terrifying.
I found Eight-Legged Freaks not to be as scary until the final scene, as arachnophobia was almost throughout the entire film.
Oh, of course. That movie was set up to be horror. Eight-Legged Freaks was mostly comedy, with the creepy terror vibe as opposed to the heavy-handed terror vibe.
Yeah. Arachnophobia, holy shit, that was bad for my soul.
One of the interesting little fun
good.
facts, the main character, as a feature of making the film as scary as it was, the main character was actually arachnophobic in life as an actor, and he was dealing with live spiders on set. So his fear was absolutely real coming through the camera.
I'm sure the title was on the script, though, so it must have been a fear he was ready to face, or he wouldn't have taken the role. But yeah, I bet that was. I bet that made filming rough.
Yeah, more power for him, because I have real fears, and some of them I have faced.
He's like, bro, I won't have to act scared. I'm good.
But I don't know. But get me to remember my lines while I'm that scared. That's a whole separate kind of. Like my fear of heights, which was significantly worse than it is since I went bungee jumping. But I can tell you, my fear of heights was such that my ability to speak diminishes the closer I would get to a precipice. And while it's mostly resolved, I don't have fear of heights at moderate levels, like, 20, 30 feet above, or walking, looking over a balcony kind of thing like I used to. There's still some spots that it's rough. Are we on? We live?
Yes, we're on. I'm just making sure the picture's all good.
Ooh, I love that picture of the 9.
All right, yeah, okay.
Hang on.
Let's down a bit.
I might have to hit refresh then, because all I can see is our heads.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't have any picture of any kind of...
It's going to go a little slow, I think, when it loads up.
When I was just checking it out, I went to my main YouTube page, and it showed the screen grab, and it showed a picture that Ben had loaded up as a cover page for the episode.
Oh, okay, so I didn't need to just refresh.
No, you did not.
Okay. All right. Welcome back to Streams of Spero, episode something. I have no idea anymore. But we are in our late sessions here, and welcome back our cast. We have Jennifer, who's playing her new character Cascade. We have Matt playing Oleski, my brother Rico playing Jew, Jeremy playing Vaymont, and our wonderful tabletop journey celebrities, Glenn and Newanika playing Zindred, and HK, who's been with us for a while.
Hello.
Last we left, our party had split up. Oleski went to Feng's Port with Jew, Cascade, and Vaymont to try to get answers for what is afflicting him in terms of these tattoos and things, and got roped into a contest. And although he kind of tried to be pacifist and not get involved, his comrades did take up arms in his name, and that did seem to light up one aspect of these infernal runes on his body. Still unsure of what that really entails, but he has felt pretty upset about the situation, came to a bit of some bitter words, and was kind of being ready to be left behind until the armor that Jew had gotten a couple episodes before kind of manifested itself to some type of cursed armor identity of the old world as well, and forced him to say he needs to come along. Vaymont, of course, had real issues with what is going on here, with now his revealed comrades, but he was tasked by the Raven Queen's glorious champion to aid them. So he is in a quandary of how that goes. And poor Cascade, who was just looking for a little bit of help to find her people on her boat, is now really stuck in a pretty mess of what is happening here. And they're about to make their way back. When we did that, things were going pretty well in Greenwood, except game was becoming very hard to find. And then a little bit later, one of the citizens was missing, so the party decided to go look for them. And what comes in to find out is it looks like the Fey Court is starting to put a vice around Greenwood and not allowing much game to come about or anything, and Zindred was willing to negotiate with the Queens to figure out how they could resolve this matter. After they kind of rested to think on this, as things were getting a little tense with the situation, the darkness of the Knights of Nine showed up for the Queen of Air and Darkness, and apparently had killed Rydell, and one of them is aiming down at Zindred, and there could be more. And in that rage, we are at that point. So, alright, so let me get the encounter up. Alright, we are up. So, Leonika and Glenn, please roll me some initiatives.
I rolled a 1, so I'm going to use my inspiration.
Good.
Roll again. For 13.
Alright, pretty solid.
I rolled. I'm going to go for my inspiration as well because I ended up with a 9, and I don't like that number.
You know, Ben, you also awarded me a +10 going forward for the role-playing scene with Leonika. Can I use that to be a 23?
You may. I will change it.
And I end up at a 12, so not significantly better.
see
Not
that.
the best use of inspiration.
Okay. That's not what I wanted. Alright. Let me move myself over out of the way to here. Okay. I believe you can upload it with the little cloud thing there, Jen, and tack it on there. I wasn't able to pull it right on. Jeremy's a little nifty on his own. Okay. Let us start. Zindred, you are facing one of the Knights of Nine. He has the very dried, limp body of Rydell at his feet.
But I secured first. Fantastic. There's like a half a heartbeat and a strangled, half stifled cry before her professional soldiery kicks in. And Zendrid screams, "To arms!" at the top of her lungs. And as she grabs Kismet and draws the Raven Queen's blade, HK, wherever you are on this plane of existence or another, you hear in your head, "The Nine are here. Rydell is down. Come now."
Nice.
Excellent.
And I charge.
All right. You are obviously right here in the blue.
Mm-hmm. And my first charge will be focused on pushing him away from Rydell's body.
Okay.
If I can do that in my movement with bonus action and a shield, it would be, and still strike, it would be great. But if I have to give up my strike, she's attacking, but she wants him away from Rydell.
I feel Zindred's very angry at this moment, and she wants to do pretty much. It's too intense for me to say no to this. So, give me an attack.
And is this the attack with the sword or with the trying to push him back?
would be with your proficiency bonus normally with a shield. If the shield has any magic, then you get that as well.
Okay, proficiency bonus is 4. Shield's magic is 3. So custom D20 roll plus 7. 15.
You slam, but his ghostly garbs and stuff sort of more like surround more of the shield and across your arm. You don't feel him budge, like he's intent on enjoying gloating over his prey, than running in fear.
Fair enough. Oh, and actually, to make that completely reasonable, I have 2 attacks per round, so that could be my first attack.
Cool.
For my second attack, I bring the sword of the Raven Queen around and cleave into him with every bit of strength that I have, without throwing myself off balance, because I am a professional.
You are a professional.
16.
Oof. He's quick to put up the blade. You hear a striking clash of your magical steel against his haunting magical steel back. There's a ringing of eerie death, wallow in pain and sorrow as your 2 blades meet. But he is not harmed.
As her bonus action, Zendrid takes a deep breath, blinks some of the tears out of her eyes that were making it so hard for her to see, puts a cork in the bottle that's going to contain her grief, and steadies herself for the fight.
All right. That is your turn?
That is my turn.
Okay. As you stand there, from part of the building, another Knight of Nine starts drifting behind you, making a move onto you as he's come out of the other building.
All right, and behind me is the well, correct?
Yeah. HK. This message just slammed in your head. It was a very calm, quiet night. Your wife and you kind of sitting by a cozy fire, having kicked back, just kind of talking of how things kind of might be in Greenwood and Sword when you're just bombarded with this desperate cry to arms.
Immediately, I will say, Vivian, the 9. Prepare and defend yourself. Zendrid is alone, and I will use my Misty Step to make myself grab my stuff, and I will use my Misty Step to get outside of the house so I don't lose time meandering around the house.
All right, give me any type of athletic, dexterity-based thing or whatever you wish to grab your stuff without fumbling.
Athletics, that's going to be a 34.
Oh God, practice. Okay, you grab your stuff easy, and you say you Misty Step.
Yeah, and then I will dash to get to
right.
the center of town.
That pretty much will get you to where you will see the scene coming out. All right.
Okay. And that's it, because I dashed in order to get there. That's all I got, but I am present, and I will be calling to arms as I'm there as well. And that's it for my turn.
Okay. The Knight of Nine will attack you, Zendrid. And you are a practice warrior indeed. And as he comes with that very hollowed blade, your tears have now been cleaned aside, and you block that blade. But again, you hear that eerie sorrow sound as your 2 weapons clash, and he does no damage to you. But on the second hit, he does hit you. You will take 16 slashing damage from a magical attack.
1 second, my sheet actually hadn't been reset. I should be at this point completely healed with no damage, correct?
That is correct.
There we go. And then how much damage you say? 17?
16.
16. But you also get 14 necrotic damage.
Yep, that definitely hurt.
And with that, he pretty much kicks aside Radal to get more spacing to kind of challenge you on. All right. And as you guys come to that, you will see coming out of the other tavern, another Knight of Nine will appear and drift in front of you, HK.
Okay.
Zindred, it is you.
So far, we are the only two on the field.
So far.
I use the disengage action.
Okay.
I have 40 feet of movement, and I take up a position on HK's left.
Which part of the arrow do you want to be at? Left?
Hmm?
So right here?
Yep. So that we are beside each other as a wall, and I
Okay.
can defend him with my reaction, and we can fight together.
All right.
As a bonus action, I am doing something, though. I swear I'm doing something. Because I'm a bit grumpy. As a bonus action, I'm going to cast... No, I'm not. I'm going to save them for regular smites.
Okay. The other Knight of Nine, he just looks at you and goes, "You are all alone now. Where's the wizard? Where's the former Knight of Summer? Give him to us, and your lives will be spared."
Which one's speaking? The one that dropped right out?
No, this one over here in the back.
Okay.
That's his action.
May I use my... Oh, I can't. I need my reaction to defend. Never mind. Unless you'll allow me to just reply.
I'll give you a free action to speak. You get your one
Fantastic.
reply.
Senator ignores him completely and stares at the one by Rydell and says, "Hear me, fiend. You may survive this battle today, even if you fall, but I will, before my days are done. If it is within my power, find a way to destroy you."
HK, you want to say anything?
I will simply add, I am a soldier of the Forge, and you will die by my hand. You will be ended in this realm and all others. When I am through with you, you will regret the life you lost, the unlife you live, and any decision you have ever made in your pitiful existence.
Give me a perception check. I'm going to give you advantage because your perception is so high.
$24.
The one in before you is, no, I'm sorry. The one that has spoken is Sir Arcasis. That one should have was dropped by the special weapon held by Aleski. You know that. And it is your turn.
Okay. So, in my head, I know they're not staying down.
Well, there's something more to, like, he knows something of how his weapon works. I don't know exactly how far your conversation went, but it is something that he believed that they were going to be destroyed of this realm.
Okay. With my turn, I am going to wield Bringer of Law, and I am simply going to... I was going to swivel around, but since since Indrid was kind enough to join me at my side, I'm going to hold ground and I'm going to attack. First attack. Uh, that's a 25.
That hits.
That's a 14.
14 damage.
Yeah. Yes.
What kind is that? Just magical slashing?
Yeah, that's magical piercing, I believe.
Okay.
Um, and I actually forgot to do my bonus action first, so I will do my bonus action now, which is going to be Hunter's Mark,
Okay.
and then I will do my second two attacks again with Bringer of Law. That's a 21.
21 just hits.
That's a 9. And Hunter's Mark damage. That's 6 extra on the Hunter's Mark.
What was the first damage?
9.
9. And
Yep.
what is how much Hunter's? What type of damage does Hunter's Mark do? Just more force.
Force. Yeah. And third regular attack. That's not good. That's a natural 1, though it ends up being a 15.
Yeah, that's a miss. Pretty bad. Sort
Okay.
of. You're just kind of not used to like how hard you're swinging. That their ghostly forms are just sliding right through.
Okay. I will take my bonus action with Lawbringer.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 28.
That's a hit.
That's another 6. And the Hunter's Mark damage is another 6.
Okay.
And I am going to. They're all bad, and so I am going to make sure I take my action surge
Okay.
and coming again with Bringer of Law 3 more times. 31.
Oh yeah.
Nine and 3.
Okay.
27.
Hit.
9 and 2.
Okay.
And the final hit, 29.
Yep.
For 11. And there we go. Let's roll a d6, not a d4. 11 and 4.
4. Nice. He looks very like now you see more up through him than the others, the other two on the side.
On that last hit, I want a trip attack, which will provide an additional d8 damage,
Okay.
and put him on the ground, which leaves him open up for Zindrid. And that's going to be 7 additional damage on the trip attack.
You kind of hit, but you just kind of noticed that he is more. It seems like he is a presence, not really
Okay.
of the realm in some aspects of ethereal form. You hit, and then just kind of like it looked like it did damage through his legs, but it didn't do anything to knock him on the ground. He just
So
seems
they're
to be a
immune to-
floating thing.
So they're immune to being made prone.
Correct.
Excellent. I never figured that out for certain, and this was my test case.
Test work.
Yep. I have learned.
All right.
And that's it for me. I'm going to maintain my position with Zindrid. There's no point in... actually, I'm going to move. I know Zindrid wants to be side by side, but since he didn't go prone, I want to give Zindrid advantage in any way I can, so I'm going to move to the swing around him, so I'm on the opposite side, so that we flank him.
Okay. This ghost will come up to you, or I should say, this this Knight of 9, Sir Thornwell. And your armor class is a 22?
I am a 22, correct.
So he gets a 28 to hit you.
He will.
My dice. So you will take where my damage? 15 bludgeoning magic damage. And 10 necrotic. He will hit you again for 30. You will take 21 bludgeoning damage. And 8 necrotic.
So 29 total.
Yep. And the hurt one will attack Zindrid and miss. And miss. He seems to be fading from the realm, seems to have hurt his focus. Zindrid, it is you.
Zindrid pivots around the one she's... No, she'll stay where she is for the advantage right now. Actions. First longsword attack is a 15 with advantage.
He seems to be on the defensive. He blocks it again.
Let's try it again. 28.
That hits.
All right. So that's going to do 1d10 plus 7 slashing. 16.
16 slashing, cool.
Not done yet.
I know you're not. Make sure you just tell me the description right.
2d10 radiant damage additional from the sword because he is undead.
Yes.
For 11.
So you notice when you strike him with that, it flares even hotter. And you pretty much know with your Arcana, he is vulnerable to radiant. And it breaks him up pretty badly.
And then I'm going to... How's he looking?
Not good.
I'm going to give him a second level spell as a smite through that as well.
Nice.
So that's going to give him 4d8 radiant.
Oof.
For 16 more.
He just flashes and explodes from you.
Okay. Is there something left there in that circle?
Nope. I just want Lee to know he has a 100 mark.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I take a 5-foot step forward
To
parallel Lee again, directly to engage that guy, side by side.
Okay.
And I growl, "Stay beside me! You give them advantage too." Which works even though I said advantage.
All right.
I could have blocked part of that damage. My turn is done. She's a little grumpy about...
I see you missing right
later
now
she'll
already.
apologize for being gruff, but she's a little grumpy right now.
You're missing Rydell already.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is this one here. He's gonna come behind.
Ooh, real quick.
Yeah.
Last action. Send through the sword to Shadow Smite. If you hadn't heard the call to arms, where are you?
Okay. That is a sending spell.
That is at will through
To the health of the sword.
sword. It is specifically sending, yes.
Okay. You will hear back. My lady, I'm on my way. All right. The Knight of 9 will attack you again. That is a 22, which will just hit you, correct?
Yes.
You will take 19 slashing damage,
I use my reaction for Interceptor.
which will do,
And it's going to block 1d10 plus something. Hang on.
yes, 6.
That's going to block 1d10 plus 5 I'll block 7 of that damage.
Okay, but you'll still take 11 necrotic as well.
So that was 19 minus 11.
Yes.
So 8 plus 11 necrotic for a total of 19.
Yep.
Every sword I deflect, I don't have to heal. She mumbles. during
He'll
the
hit you
reaction.
again. You'll take 14 damage. Oh, actually, that is a 22. Do you want to do anything? Do you have any reactions to do?
I think I actually do have a reaction. Hang on one second. Maybe.
I was just thinking that I was going forward. I was like, you might have a AC changer.
Actually, I have a repose. Oh no,
He's
he has to
already hit
miss
you.
in order for me to use
Yeah.
that. So no, I have to take that one.
All right, so it's another 14 slashing. 6. And 7 necrotic.
Okay.
He's going to try to disarm you as a bonus action. So you need to do a strength save. DC 15.
You're within 5 feet of me, which is all you need to be, so you have advantage on all saving throws, and you have a +4.
Nice.
Okay. Well, I did an 18 anyway, but
You're good.
yeah, 24 with the advantage.
All right, Hephaestus.
Bonus action, moving Hunter's Mark to the new target in front of me.
The one that hit you, or the other one that has not attacked yet?
The one that hit me.
Okay, that's it.
Let's see here.
Ben, you also have a message to check on your messenger real quick if it applies.
And let's see here.
Can you? No, I guess not.
Okay, and I will attack. Coming 3 times with Bringer of Law. That's a 26.
You hits.
Another 26.
Damage? Oh, those 2 hits. Those 2 hits. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 hits, and the third hit's a 24.
Yep. All those hit.
Okay, so let's see. First damage. That's 16 total.
Okay.
Second is 14 total.
Another 14. Okay.
And the third, 12 total.
Okay.
And Lawbringer is 14 total.
No.
Okay. And I will heed Zindred's warning and hold my position.
Okay.
Sorry, bro.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
popping from that house is Arturo.
Didn't we kill him?
He wanted to. You will
No,
take
he ran away.
34 necrotic damage as he hits you with a grave bolt.
To whom?
To you, HK. You're the one.
Ooh, that's 4. 34?
Yes.
Ouch!
Yeah, remember he pulled that little teleporty Misty Step shenanigan and left us facing 6 of his
Yeah.
rear guard or whatever? Yeah.
Oof.
Damn.
And he goes, the slaughter begins. These are the odds I like much better. And the other knight at 9 will run HK through. And 24 will hit.
Question.
Yeah.
And this is calling for a ruling, I guess. So I have a maneuver that says evasive footwork, where I can expend a superiority die and increase my AC by that roll.
Mm-hmm.
But it specifically says when I'm moving.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ruling that as I'm in combat, so I can be moving, or does it only happen while I'm?
That would be the way I understand it. Is if you it's not a full disengage action. It would allow you to do the maneuver where you would run in, allowing people to have attacks of opportunities on you, but that die immediately goes into your armor class. So you become you're forcing people to use a reaction, but you're also that harder to hit because you're doing it with a much more skilled approach rather than a rogue who's like, I don't want to be hit at all. I'm trying to scurry around as much as possible.
So I would not be able to use that in this situation.
No.
Okay, fair enough. In that case, that hits me.
All right.
When moving in this particular instance refers to when you're using your move action.
Yeah.
Okay.
You will be hit for 23 slashing damage. Magic.
HK goes down.
All right. The apparition will look over you. Blade poised above your chest. Alright, the other 99 is gone. Zindred, it is you.
Okay. So, in a combination of all of my moves, this is my proposal. My proposal is that I reach out, grab HK by the shoulder, and use my action to lay on hands 70 points of healing into him.
Okay. He's next to you. You can do that.
And then between my bonus action, item interaction, and movement, I'd like to push him 5 feet, pull him 5 feet kind of over to my right and step into the space where he is.
Okay. There's going to be
Kind of disengaging him automatically because he didn't generate the movement and taking his place.
All right, that's a little bit of different type of mechanics. So the way I will allow that is you just need to give me a strength roll. And the DC will be 20. And if you can pull it off, then you will do a sort of bait and switch.
DC will be 20, will it? Well, I have not. No, I offered you my bonus action too, so I can't channel divinity for Peerless Athlete. Okay, so be it. Athletics. 21.
All right.
Yes! Bacon has been saved.
Okay. So you get the heal. You are moved. You take a space. You back him out.
Hunter's
Steady
mark is
spot.
gone, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
And since Kismet is in her hand, using sending, she sends a prayer. My queen, lend us your strength.
Okay.
And that is my turn.
All right. The Knight of Nine will attack you. 22 just hits you.
You might be bait and switching me in a second.
You take 23 slashing damage and 10 necrotic.
It hurt a lot.
And we'll hit you again. Oof, for another 23 slashing. And 9 necrotic. Hephaestus, it is your turn. Zindred is bleeding badly in front of you.
Zindred does look as though she's leaning heavily to one side, and she's, definitely taking big, deep breaths.
So I'm going to stand up. I am going to shout, "We will not fall here today. Zindred, I will stand strong alongside you and we will win." And use rally.
Okay.
So Zindred will gain a D8 plus my charisma modifier. So you get four temporary hit points.
Bro, I'll take it.
It's not as big as I was hoping. Though I want to press the attack, I recognize that this is not the time that we're going to have that opportunity. Like, we can't be this low. So I will. I will lay on hands and give Zindred 15 points of healing.
I totally forgot you took some levels in Paladin.
And
I thank you.
And I will simply say, Tyr will bring order to this land, even as these fell demons try to create chaos. And ready myself for the fight.
Okay. Arturo will gloat at all this. He will fire another Grey Bolt.
Jesus!
He's not as good as a shot, though, so he just misses Zindred. But he's got a couple. He's got another one. Fires 3 of them at you, Zindred. But your shield, because now you're on the defensive, you're able to block all 3. He goes, "You're doomed. You're doomed this time. This time I'll have all of you." And as he does that, his chest sort of explodes outward as a familiar, friendly assassin pops out on him. And he looks rather stunned. And then as you look on, then his skull explodes out towards you as your familiar wife comes out of the house. He drops Arturo.
We'll take Calvary.
With a free
I love
action,
that woman.
she pulls out of his chest the Sin Stone. And Vivian absorbs it.
Woo-hoo!
The Knights of Nine look and go, "Where did those two come from?" Another day, another moment. This is pointless now with him not here. And with that, both of them just fade into the earth, disappearing.
That was rough, son. HK will immediately run over to Vivian.
Okay. I will give you another 50 more hit points added from Shadow Smite. She'll do a heal. I'm sorry, on Zindred, not on you.
Okay, fair enough.
Thank you. And the Shadow Smite, thank you.
I'm sorry. I thought I was here. I should have been here sooner.
The fault is not yours. Help me.
I'll second wind to give myself some more health. Then.
Okay. You guys will go, obviously, to the body of Rydell. He apparently is, like, drained of life. He's kind of mummified.
I'll ask Shadow Smite to help me carry him, and we will carry him into the mayor's house and lay him out on the table and do the best we can to, well, first probably mourn a little bit, and then to bless and sanctify his corpse to make sure that it's not his soul isn't tainted and whatnot. And tomorrow we'll probably have a funeral.
Okay. Laura definitely helps you wrap the body, and this is probably the most upset you've ever seen her.
HK, obviously I don't have tears to cry, but he will lower his head, and he's devastated by the loss of his friend.
And Zendred eventually murmurs to Shadow Smite, I never thought he'd fall either.
Where did they all come from? We should have been more vigilant. Damn it.
With their ability to fade in and out, how vigilant can we be? But yes, they definitely caught us sleeping.
You guys will have a very solemn night as you clean up the mess, prepare the body. We go back to our group that is on their way back. Cascade, are you casting the tree walk thing?
Yes. On our way out of town, I will go to the edge of the woods and find a suitable tree. And all right, boys.
Wait, we're already leaving?
Oh, I thought we were on our way out when we concluded the last time, but did we get a long rest, by the way, since the fight? Okay.
Everyone was long rested before this.
So I don't get my meeting right away?
Oh, do you want to have your meeting? You calling it out? I didn't know if you were calling it out. You were hesitant before.
That was before everybody did their thing to make sure I got the meeting, and it seems like now that they've gone through all that, I should at least have the meeting.
Okay. So you're gonna go talk to Hartmore?
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess at this point, I might as well use the benefit that my team got me. So, after the fight or whatever, I'd ask to at least schedule the meeting. How about that? If we want to, the meeting has to happen later, but well, I'll at least get it on the books.
Hartmore is asking, do you want to go now to see him right now, or do you want me to schedule a time frame somewhere? You earned it.
I'm hoping to have a short conversation. I don't want to have a long conversation.
That's
I
out
do
of
have
my
to get
power.
back. I understand that. But if I have to travel to some place that's going to change the time frame or even time of my meeting and return, that may be something to wait until it can occur in a more convenient time frame. But if we can have the meeting now and I can return to my friends in reasonable time, then yes, I would like to have my meeting.
I can guarantee you the meeting. I cannot guarantee the time. What would you like to do?
Let me talk with my friends for just a moment.
Okay.
I'm afraid that if I go to this meeting, it's going to be like going into the Feywild.
I don't know what that means.
Well, the last time we went into the Feywild, we came back 2 weeks before we went into the Feywild.
Oh, I know what that means.
Okay, keep going. I don't know what any of that means, but keep going.
Well, we entered the Feywild to speak with the queens of the Fey Court at one point. And because of the magic of the Feywild, we ended up returning to the area that we left 2 weeks before we left. We went back in time. I'm concerned that if I go to where Zariel is now to have a meeting with him, the last time I knew he was on one of the levels of hell. And I am concerned that that's going to change my arrival back to the town. And I'm concerned that if you go with me, which I don't think they're going to allow you to do, but if you did go with me, we'd all be separated for a greater amount of time than we anticipated. But I do feel I need to find out what's happening to me.
Well, if you feel that you need to figure this out, I'll support you on that. Um, I will say, are you at all concerned with them trying to keep you?
Keep me? No. They're doing this to me, I think, because they want some kind of connection to our group. They want to have a hand in the game, like the Fey Queens do. They didn't ask, though. They kind of did it in the devil way of, doing it and asking forgiveness afterwards, without asking for forgiveness because they're devils. I don't think that they intend this to be bad for me, because that would mean that they don't get the benefit of having a representative in this mission. But what they consider good for me and what I consider good for me are, I'm sure, two completely separate and distinct things.
Do you think that they have control over what timeline you come back to? Or that it's random?
Randomness we associate more with the fairies than we do with the devils, but chaos is certainly in the devil's purview.
So, if they were to send you back, what would be gained for them? Well, what's happened in the last couple of weeks that wouldn't have happened that you could have changed?
traveling between planes is always a
It's always a gamble.
variable. There's never right. It's never simple and straightforward. So my concern is that days may pass. We may come back to the same time frame, but days may pass there where hours pass here, or hours may pass there where days pass here, or something even less guessable.
I totally agree. The last time I went to the water plane, I came back about a couple of days later than what I should have.
A, do I go now, or do I ask for a meeting to occur, say, on this plane of existence, where we know the time will pass as we expect it, but it could be whenever they want it to happen. He wants it to happen. She wants it to happen. It wants it to happen.
Which could be a very inconvenient time.
Or do I risk that there's a chance that time will not pass the way I want it to when I go to this meeting, and we might be delayed or separated from our party even longer?
I think the conservative approach I think would be to wait. And even if the meeting ends up being at an inconvenient time, hopefully it happens when we're back together as a group. Because if you're afraid of something happening now, we're limited in our numbers. And things aren't overly kosher right now. Vaymont still doesn't like me.
The other issue too, Mr. Alexi, is if you wait and he sets up an appointment, your appointment time could be 1 hour from when you find out about it, but 3 days travel away. Now, I could get you there pretty damn quickly if I knew where it was and if I knew the trees in the area.
Well, my appointment is part of the bargain that the three of you struck for the fight. So I don't think they would twist it like that, because
So
it is
then
a
it's-
reward. It is an agreement.
So
But
then
I
it's
don't
a
know what's
matter of
happened to
time
me.
each way.
The problem
Time
is
now or
I-
time later.
In your minds, you hear,
The 9 were here, and we are divided. Rydell is dead. Return now.
Well, Mr. Alexi, I think you need to make that appointment. Well, would I receive that as well? Okay. Mr. Alexi, I think you need to make your appointment for later.
I guess
Did
I
you guys
agree.
just hear something?
Every single person on away missions, to include Firebrand, who's not actually here.
yeah, but Rico's just being Jew.
Oh,
Would Russell have heard
just-
it?
I just thought
just
I heard
to,
something.
just to absolutely screw with Jew in Jew's head, you hear, "Yes, Jew, we did," in Alexi's voice.
We should probably get back to the rest of the group. So I would say let's hold that meeting.
I'll let Hartmore know. So I'll step back in the room with Hartmore and explain that it seems we need to return back to our party as quickly as possible. Could she please help me arrange a convenient time and place to meet with Zerial so that I can understand what's going on with me?
I can help you set up a meeting, but it will have restraints on your own accord. She hands you a scroll. One time only. Use it wisely.
Okay. Without like trying to activate it, can I? Is there any indication what the scroll is?
Summoning ritual.
Summoning ritual. Oh, that's gonna be fun. Okay. Thank you very much.
Jeremy, I didn't hear you for your audio.
Oh, any better?
No, I hear you. Jeremy is one. I think he was speaking. I didn't hear him. As he checks. All right. So you have that.
He's been monologuing all night and we haven't realized it. Before I go, Lady Hartmore, could I ask for one small favor?
Maybe.
It's just some information about the realm here, where the port is dealing with both in-person pirates and potential pirates out on the sea. We were coming to the city to search for some information about a lost ship that was attacked. Is there any chance that you would have any kind of contacts that would be able to offer or track down that kind of information about where a ship might have been taken or a crew might have been taken if it was pirated?
There probably is.
Is there any small token that we could offer to see if this information is attainable? I know I could go to the information broker across town, but I need to kind of stay away from that establishment right now.
Well, they don't.
Actually, no, I take that back. I will go there and seek out the information myself. Thank you very much. But if they fail to find anything, I will certainly return to you.
They're not going to know much. I have a lot greater resources. Frog and Slate are pretty well connected.
As I suspected. But it is mundane information. I'm sure it's nothing to really trouble you with.
Is it mundane?
I was just wondering. I would hope it's mundane.
Hoping is a wonderful term.
But it's good to know that you may have those resources, and if we have time, I'll come back and try to access them at another point. But we do have to return to our party.
Have fun.
Thank you very much for your time.
Tell Zindred I missed her.
I would be happy to do so.
Okay. You guys return then? That's the plan?
Yeah, although, guys, when we get a chance, I'd really like to go to the Lady Slipper at some point. So next time we're in the city, drinks are on me.
Got my vote.
Okay. So, once again, Cascade, you are used to the tree?
I am.
All right. So, within about an hour, after you've given the message, the rest of you will arrive in Greenwood.
So this is like a pass tree spell.
Yeah.
This spell creates a magical link between a large or larger inanimate plant within range of and another plant at any distance on the same plane of existence. You must have seen or touched the destination plant at least once before. For the duration, any creature that can step through the target plant and exit through the destination plant by using 5 feet of movement. And the duration is 1 round. So I can transport any number of people in the course of 1 round through trees.
Okay. So you guys are back in Greenwood. You guys can pretty much show up at the show up in the center of town, and it's up to you guys to go ahead and converse from there.
How do they return? It took them 2 or 3 days to get there?
They returned instantaneously this morning, so after an hour of you casting the spell, they just kind of come out of the woods.
Show up.
Yeah.
Nice. That's handy.
For all you know, we were on our way back, but
True. But if you didn't come walking out of the woods, instead you all just mysteriously appeared at the well, it kind of would indicate that there was some kind of magic afoot.
nope. Yeah, we transported through trees and are back.
Cool. Nice. Great job. But our wayward mage is still missing.
I will. HK will simply. He'll be exceptionally. He'll be sullen. You'll see his head is lowered. He'll help and basically stand watch over Rydell.
I imagine when everybody else arrives, if this is mid-morning, you say?
Yes.
Okay. If this is mid-morning, then we're probably in a clear open section near the edge of town where we already have a hole and Rydell's body and are preparing to... Heck, we may have even just finished the funeral because I don't terribly want to speak at that. Just as we're finishing burying the body then.
Sure, they can meet you pretty much outside of town. A new graveyard kind of being formed. So you guys will come into a very solemn scene where it's Zindrid, Hephaestus, Vivian, Laura, Firebrand, Alaran will be there.
What happened?
Several of the
You'd
town-
know if you were here.
And I wasn't. That's what I'm
Zindrid-
asking. What happened?
Zindrid turns away from where she was staring at the grave. Enough of this. The fate of the world is in our hands. And we take our time. We lay about. We go on errands. Enough of this. Rydell is dead because we did not move on to the next task. The rest of the world will have to look after itself while we save it. Our job is to collect the stones. We need to move from stone to stone to stone. The nearest one being the next objective unless there's a tactical reason to make a different choice. Does anybody disagree with me?
I disagree only because I believe what's going on with me is important information to know, especially for my friends and family here.
Agreed. Let me help clarify for you somewhat, Oleski, and I apologize if my words are harsh. All of you are losing yourselves. Each of you that takes in one of these stones are losing yourselves. You're being taken over by something, whether it's the sin or the demon you've made contact and contract with. All of you are. I know that. And I also know that I've decided I will not take one for that reason. I cannot lose my connection to the Raven Queen. And I know you want to know what's going on and what is happening to you. The world is more important. What I can tell you, what I can promise you, is that if I am alive when this is over, and any of you survive, I will do everything I can to help you find yourselves again. But this is more important.
HK, as Zindrid speaks, is wincing in extreme pain. And he steps forward and he says, "Your words are important. But I need to say goodbye to my friend." And he produces in his hand, and he's been holding it the entire time, a burning hot coal that he's kept in his hand that he took from the blacksmith shop. And in the other hand, he has ashes, basically charcoal from that same fire.
How bad does HK look?
He's healthy now.
I'm
Oh.
healthy. It's pain because I've been holding a hot coal the whole time. I'm not resistant
Okay.
to fire. I've basically been holding a hot coal in my hand this entire time.
Okay.
And he stands over the grave before it's been filled in, and he crushes the hot coals and he crushes the ash, mashes them in his hands together, and lets that fall into the grave. From a soldier of the forge to a warrior of the dark. Once we were enemies. We became friends. We will forever be brothers in arms. I will honor you as I move forward in this quest and rededicate myself to accomplishing the task we set out to accomplish together. You will not be forgotten. Your lessons will never be unlearned. You will be remembered fondly. Go in peace. You have brought order to a chaotic life. And then he rubs the last bit of that ash and coal dust in, and he steps over to the pile where the dirt was, picks up a shovel, and he asks if anybody else has words for their fallen friend.
Laura grabs it. And she says, although our ways were always different, we served Zindrid, our lady, as best we always knew how. I could always count on you to protect her while you allowed me to do my thing. And I hope amongst the people here left that spirit and legacy will continue as we move forward. But I will let you know, these fucking Knights of Nine have made a personal enemy of me. And she'll drop the ash at the grave.
Agreed. You're welcome on my quest to end them after this is over. Zindrid will kneel by the grave, say a silent prayer to the Raven Queen, asking her to welcome and shelter him until she sees him again. And then out loud will murmur, "Goodbye, Shield Brother." And she'll stand and say to everyone, "I intend to leave tomorrow at dawn for the next closest stone. I hope that you'll be with me." And she returns to the mayor's house, goes into her room, and stays there for the rest of the day.
Laura immediately follows you to now forever be vigilant.
I will embrace Vivian and then let her know until the next sunrise I must stand watch over him.
Zindrid, if I may, catches that as she's leaving and casts over her shoulder, "HK, I'm sorry, but Vivian has taken a stone. She's one of us now," and continues on.
She understands.
Cat-
She'll go up to the house. Vivian does. Go ahead, Jen.
Cass will lean over at Alexi and say, "Y'all been eating stones? What are y'all talking about?"
It's actually a very long story, several years in the making. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. There's a prison, an arcane prison, shackles made of these stones, and they are held by people of importance And these shackles will eventually allow the god Hades to absorb the power of another god or goddess. In this case, the one in the shackles is a goddess from another dimension called Silk. We're trying to remove these shackles by removing them from the people that are important to Silk. Powerful people that in some way have been bound to be these shackles. And in order to take on or take the shackles away, we have to take on the stones ourselves and bear these curses. It's not something you need to worry about. It's not your quest.
Well, I mean, I've asked you all to help me find out what happened to the Suncatcher. If it sounds like y'all could use as much help as you can get, so I'm more than willing to help until you guys can help me find what happened with my family.
Absolutely, help is appreciated, but you didn't take on this quest. You weren't part of the company of the White Flame that felt the need to stand up for the local community and the world community. We're not the White Flame anymore, but we're still us. We're still a family. We're just not. We're not under the banner that our leader Reckland put together. He passed away, and we tried to be them for a while, but we can't be them because the person who led us, who gave us that direction, is gone. And we picked a different direction, not one that he would have taken. But that's what these stones are. They're curses that are a magical shackle of a goddess. And if we don't free her from these shackles, then the god Hades will absorb her power and become more powerful than any of the other gods in Olympus. It's just draining even thinking about it, but that's where it is. We've collected 5 of these now. There's 2 more left. We're almost there. I just hope we're still us when we get to the end of this path.
Well, I don't know what to say. I don't know how I can help, but like I said, I will help. Poseidon help us all, it sounds like. And I'm sorry for your friend.
I honestly didn't know him well. I've been at a distance from the Dark Elves for the most part. I haven't got to know them very well at all. But sounds like you should prepare to travel again. Now that Zindred has made this statement, I'm sure we won't be here long. I have some thinking to do. Excuse me.
Okay.
And if she's okay, he'll just kind of step away and wander around in thought.
Cass will she's had her head down in thought and she'll barely acknowledge as he walks away, but
Okay. Ju, can you give me a wisdom save, please?
Wisdom saving throw.
Yes.
18.
Okay. You feel a thought trying to crop up on you, but you're able. This isn't too intense, right? I was a friend. Nothing. You have control of your emotions.
I'm just hanging out by the grave.
Okay. So it's just you and HK, and I don't know if Baymont or Cascade are doing anything special. Everyone else seems gone off somewhere in the town.
Cass isn't sure what to do with herself at this point. So falling back on what she did before, she might just go back out to the fields and start helping to druidcraft to get crops and stuff like she was doing before, but out in the open this time where before she was hiding it.
Okay. So you'll go off and do that. Grandma?
I think I missed a whole bunch of stuff that happened because I was trying to figure out how to get my mic to work.
Fair. I'll try to review.
So, I guess if we're back, then first things first would be Baymont would go to Zindrid.
She seems very touchy right now. That's kind of what you got out from the funeral. She's trying to get everyone up to go find the next stone, regardless of personal expectations or goals. And she looks very, very upset. You've never seen her like venomous as a snake, so to speak. And
Which isn't saying much since you met me for a few hours before I sent him away.
True.
Yeah.
But
I don't know her super well. She's not the same type of
the
elf
one they
as
call
me.
Shadow Smite is pretty much, and again, she seems pretty hostile to most people, has dropped her guard enough to be like, Baymont, not the time. We'll try the morning.
I'm not sure if waiting till the morning is the best idea. I mean, it seems like things kind of went sour at nighttime, right?
Yes, but if it adds more to this fuel of the fire, she's liable to stab someone near her.
I mean, as long as it's not me, I think that's okay.
It could be any one of our comrades in arms. You do not know a noble woman of the House of the Drow. A little different expectations to rules. So let us wait until the morning at the moment.
Okay.
Thank you. Go have a drink.
I think I'll just go see what everybody else is doing.
Good idea.
I guess Vaymont will go check in on... I mean, he really doesn't know anybody,
You don't.
so... go see what the water lady's doing, maybe?
The what lady?
The water lady?
The water
Cass.
lady? Oh, Cass. I was like, the water lady?
The one with the wet hair.
Gotcha. All right, so Ju and HK, you two are at the grave. You were apart for a while. I don't know if there's any particular time you want to interact, or are you guys just good to be in silence?
HK, what happened? Who attacked?
The 9. Zindrid and I returned from trying to find a missing person from the village. The Fae are posing a threat. But that may be just as long as we are here. We were coming back and we were trying to settle in and make decisions tomorrow when Zindred was attacked by the Nine. They had already killed Rydell. We fought 3 of them.
I'm sorry I wasn't here.
Arturo was laid low by combined effort, but the killing blow was definitively that of Laura and Vivian. Vivian now has the stone of greed. I noticed that one of them seems to have come back. I don't know if us defeating them at any given time is a permanent situation or a temporary one. More to be pondered on the road, lest we tie ourselves up with over discussion. Zinder's right. We need to be focused on moving forward. We can waste no more time in collecting these stones and bringing ourselves to the arena of the final conflict.
Agree. Let's finish this.
He clasps forearm, hand and forearm with you.
Jew, give me another saving throw, wisdom, please.
A 5.
You are gripped with a very inhumanly strong hold. Worse than any vice you've ever had. And Jew growls at you and says, "The pact of all of us are coming together. Those that fall are just unnecessary by the wayside. The prophecy is coming to fruition." And you notice his eyes were glowing red when he did that, and now they'd stopped.
Do I recognize that voice at all?
Oh no.
I'll be ready to go in the morning.
Can I get an insight check to see if Jew recognizes that just happened?
Yes, you may. And you know him long enough, I will give you advantage.
$22.
You're pretty sure he didn't even know that experience had happened.
Yeah, Jew's train was not in the station in those moments.
No, not at all.
Okay. I will, in my head, speaking to the blades. Please help me to remember that voice. We may
Give me a history
come to
check.
point.
History check with advantage again.
Is there anything on my armor that might help him?
No, it's been modified.
Okay.
24.
There you go. Give me another saving throw, wisdom. This time, Hephaestus. 8, and this time you'll do it at disadvantage on your wisdom.
That's a 13, though I rolled that disadvantage out of a nat 20.
Ooh, and you're gonna hate this. You take 50 points of psychic damage and drop to a
Ja! 50?
50, and they go. That voice is an old enemy, Hephaestus, an enemy of your blood. You cannot trust him. He is curse of the old world. Curse the destroyer. Curse the slayer. Curse the kinslayer to your father. Jew, HA just dropped in front of you. You've never seen him ever feel pain like that before. He just kind of looked and just screamed, and boom, he's down to a knee, looking down like something just blasted him. You didn't see anything. He has no other damage. It
I'll stand over him and start looking around. HK, are you okay? I'm basically looking to see if I can see who might have attacked him.
Sure, give me a perception check.
Where's my perception? Right there. Big 10.
You have whoever it was is another assassin that you cannot see.
It's because you're wearing it. It's you.
That's you.
It's you. I think I saw this in Primal Fear, Ed Norton.
I'll help HK up.
Again, another moment. You give me an insight check out of you this time with advantage, please.
Insight check with advantage. Gonna need it. 16.
You noticed a flinch from him. Again, a behavior that is not common with Hephaestus. But he does. It was a flinch, but you're able to grab his arm and lift him to his feet.
Were you injured from the previous combat?
I was injured.
Roll
but
a
I am
deception
fine
check.
now.
Lee, roll a deception check, please. And
Nope.
Jew.
I will say, but I am fine now. There is something different about you.
Okay.
Something in the armor you now wear.
I acquired this in the trip with Alexei, and I'll be honest with you. I went back into the gladiatorial arenas on his behalf to help him.
You came out not alone.
No, we got Cascade and Vaymont. They were with us. Yeah. They went into combat with me. We were successful, of course. One half the champions.
There's more than that.
It's a nice armor. I'm sure it's got some perks. It's done me well so far.
It has a history. And it is dangerous.
I'm dangerous. You fought alongside me in the gladiatorial arenas. You should know that.
I know you jest, and previously I've been one to share a hearty laugh with you as well. This is not that. This is something vastly different.
I'm not sure I understand where you're going, but I assure you, should be fine. Like you said, let's focus on the next two stones and end this once and for all.
Yes.
And then you move off to go get a drink.
To the swords, I will
Supposed to wave your
say-
hand like that. You want to get a drink.
You want to get a drink too.
To the swords, I will simply think we have much to prepare for.
We do. He's dangerous. His injured must know. If you can trust them as well.
I can trust Zindred. But at this point, we have to move forward. Zindred's right. We cannot wait any longer.
desperate times, much like the old ways.
They never rested, did they? It was always in motion.
The land was always against you. It is becoming that once again.
Then I shall be resolute. If the land is against me, then my family and my lineage will stand with me against it.
Okay, so you will hang over the grave. Cascade, first we'll do Vaymont. I need an investigation check with advantage to find Cascade.
24.
Wow, very good. Taking a hint of what she might be at, you and looking around outside of the town, more or less, you find her at one of the farms, growing corn.
What's going on, water lady? Cass, right?
Cass, has it taken you this long to remember my name? I mean, we've been together for at least, 4 to 5 days now.
Yeah, but I've also been worrying about demons within the people that I've been sent to aid. So, there's that.
That's an interesting turn of events. I'll give you that.
So, why again are you here? Something about a boat.
It's a ship.
What's the difference?
A boat's a dinghy. A ship's big. Holds more than one person. Has a hold. Sails.
So there's no such thing as a big boat.
I came here because I was looking for help because my ship and my family on the ship were attacked. And as far as I know, I'm the only survivor. And I want to find what kind of evil did this.
So this is a vengeance thing.
You can call it vengeance. You can call it protecting the seas because there was some evil afoot. You can call it whatever you want, but either or, I was looking for help to try to figure out what happened to my family and my ship.
I don't think we're alone.
Well, I mean, it's a farm. There's animals everywhere.
I think there's more than animals here. Can I tell direction?
North and east.
So,
Cascade looks around. Does she see anything?
Perception check.
I mean, my passive is 20, but that's a 16.
Your hair isn't standing on the back of your neck, but you don't see anybody. But you do have the feeling that he might be right.
So, I think perhaps we should steadily move our conversation back toward the others.
I agree. I feel like I'm being watched.
Then you hear a voice, very musical, like, I don't think that would be a good idea. Stand where you are, hands in the air.
I might as well make a perception now, because I can hear the voice. So, do you want me to make a roll, or can I just see them?
One of the forms does come out a little bit more, holding a bow towards you, and you think there's two more, probably close by, from that point. It's some type of Eladrin elf. Cascade, you will see that one too that spoke.
Another elf. Hey,
Keep both of the hands up, please.
Why? What do my hands do when they're up?
We know you're a spellcaster. Both of
Oh, spells. Yeah. No, I don't really think those are my strength, but I mean, I could try.
you. Just in case.
How far away is this one who's talking to me?
35 feet. But you know this elf is not alone.
Who are you and what do you want?
I am just here as a collector. If you'll hear us out, just do as you're told, and then we can continue the conversation.
A collector? Of what?
You too.
You collect people?
When we're told. Now you gonna listen, or are you gonna move this the hard way?
I'm just.
I don't think Zindred gave me permission to go with anybody.
Shouldn't go with her. But I'm gonna give you 3 seconds. Hands in the air, or we shoot. 3.
So
Cass's hands are at least at her shoulder level. They're not all the way up, but they're.
That's fair. 2.
mine aren't. I'm gonna Blessing of the Raven Queen and dash at her with my blades drawn because I don't know who she is and she's telling me to do something Zindra didn't tell me to do.
Alright, what's your AC?
17.
Oh, this is not gonna go well.
It's a couple rolls.
There's more than a couple of rolls.
That whole not being alone part, yeah.
I mean, the thing is,
I need you to make one dexterity save, please.
you know how skilled you'd have to be able to shoot somebody who teleports? Like, beyond skilled.
What do you said you're dashing, though?
No, I blinked forward with Blessing of the Raven Queen, which is a 30-foot. It's basically a 30-foot teleport.
Is it
And that puts me 5 feet away from her.
Vocal spell, though?
No, it's an ability because I'm
Okay.
because of the type of elf that I am.
Let me check your abilities.
So literally, she's in the danger zone, not me.
Okay.
Because I can blink 30 feet, and then as soon as I pull the whip out, I have 10 feet of reach. So
Yeah, there is no real description to it. Which will actually be pretty bonus. So you will teleport to her. She didn't fire at you because you were pretty quick from there. But when you end, that's when the rest of the firing will happen. Good thing that gives you resistance. So you'll take about 36 points of damage, and then you need to have a dexterity save.
okay.
As about 6 arrows hit you, and a couple of them did miss.
And
Okay.
nobody shot at me?
Nope.
Good.
15 dex save.
Okay, so you didn't really get any other L effect, but you do feel a lot of punctures. So now you've gotten to her, you've seen a couple of reactions. I guess you're gonna have to roll initiative.
So I don't get to hit her first?
I will give you an action to move, and that was pretty much their reaction. So you pretty much did your surprise thing. They fired off their surprise reaction, and now it's going to be reaction. If you roll high enough, then you get to do your attack on her, and then after that, we'll finish up everything else.
Okay, so what am I rolling?
Cascade, you're on rolling initiative as well.
I am or I am not?
You are, because you might want to do something depending on what Vaemon is doing.
I got a 24 for initiative.
Okay.
8.
All right, Vaemon, you were going first.
Fantastic. So, in that case, I'm gonna pull out my Shadow Blade as my bonus action, and I mean, I don't want to kill her. Like, it was never my intent, but she kind of has turned it into that.
Yeah,
So,
well, when they want to cover you and you kind of come at them, it kind of turns into a hostile situation real quick. It's kind of reaction, you know?
I mean, that's how I was built to react to. So,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I should talk to her or if I should attack her.
You gotta be quick. This is the moment.
So,
You want to talk
I
to her.
actually just want to bring the whole intent was to bring my weapon up to her, but not actually harm her.
Okay.
Because basically to hold her hostage, like, stop shooting at me, or else I can kill her.
So I will give you an intimidation check.
Okay. I got a 6.
Okay. You pretty much whip out your blade and go like, "Hey, I mean it." Is there anything else you want to do from that? You have the person that was talking at odds, but there seems to be others around.
So, just looking straight at her, I don't want to hurt you. I also just don't want to go with you, because Zindra didn't give me permission. So, I think we're going to have to talk this out.
Well, I'm only the pawn here, so you made the mistake of rushing me. If I were you, I'd drop your weapon right now.
I'm going to attack him.
Okay.
21 to hit.
Yeah, hits.
Alright, so they're getting the booming blade, not just a regular attack, but it's the same roll.
Okay.
So it's 15. Uh, 25. And I think that's it.
25?
Yeah, because I don't think I have an advantage on her. I don't know if I do.
because she's you flashed and kind of stopped, and then decided to run it through.
Okay. So, yep, 25, and then obviously if she moves, she'll take damage. I don't know if she knows that.
You've already run
You
it
know
through,
that.
so she drops in front of you.
Well, this got messy fast.
Yep. Let me see.
She dropped, is that what you said?
Yeah, he just ran her through.
Okay.
Sorry, I gotta recheck on something. Alright. What is your armor class, Cascade?
18.
You will take 44 piercing damage as you're struck by about 6 arrows.
Okay. How much was it? I'm sorry.
44. Vaymoth, you will take another 32 from several arrows that hit you as well. Now you're about realizing there's about a dozen Eladrian.
32 halved already, or
No, that
32
was
that I
full.
get to have?
You only get that for the moment. Once your turn is done.
No.
Once your turn is done, I believe your power ends.
You gain resistance to all damage until the start of your next turn.
Which was the start of your turn after you did that. You led the combat.
I get what you did.
Yep. So that's from there. And then there are now 11. I see. There's 11 Eladrian. One Vaymoth just dropped. And there is a brown-haired other human archer with them. And she's about 60 feet away from you, Cascade. And that's about 95 feet from Vaymont. And that is your turn, Cascade.
Well, she's kind of pissed because she put her hands up and she hasn't done a damn thing, and now she's been shot.
A lot.
But she's pissed at Vaymont for starting this whole freaking brawl. And unfortunately, I really don't have like something specifically that can help. I am going to... You said they're 35 feet away from me? Before?
There are some within 25 of you.
No. Vaymont and the downed...
Vaymont is 35 feet away from you. And the downed woman.
I am going to No, I'm not. Never mind. I'm going to keep my hands up, and I'm going to walk forward casually, and I'm going to yell, Vaymont, you stupid little boy! Why the hell did you do that? And if they allow her to get close enough without getting all shot up, she's just going to reach down and touch the forehead of the lady and cast Cure Wounds.
Okay. Alright, you roll how much you heal her. And
14.
Okay. Anything else you want to do?
I'm going to grab him by the collar and shake him a little bit and pull him away from her.
He might stab you. I'd be careful.
Will you allow yourself to be grabbed? Otherwise, she's going
No.
to roll. Alright, then you need to roll a hit. Well, you're about to reach out because that is a full action, so you're not able to grab him at the moment. Alright, Vaymont, is the top of the round to you.
Okay. This is the second time I've watched this new person heal somebody that I considered an enemy.
Well, how
The
do you want to go about
second
this?
time. She's gonna get 3 strikes because that's how
Pattern is forming.
Yeah. So she's gonna get 3 strikes, and that's what Vaymont's thinking.
She yelled at you as well.
Yep, twice.
You're acting like
alright.
every other young teen I know.
Yep, that's the point. All right, so the girl is conscious again in front of me.
Yep, on the ground. She's prone.
And then, where's the next one that I can see?
10 feet.
10 feet. So... Oh, first let me roll a con. Alright, so my Shadow Blade goes away because I failed my con save, so I couldn't keep concentration on it.
Okay.
So then I'm going to Blessing of the Raven Queen to the next one. That's 10 feet.
Mm-hmm.
and booming blade that one with
Okay.
my whip. Uh, 25 to hit.
Yep.
So that one's going to take 14 plus 8, so 22. That one's going to take 22.
Coil him with a whip, wraps around his that Eladrin's throat, tearing into it. He falls to the ground dead.
And since I'm within 30 feet of the one that I just tried to kill, the whales from the grave are going to do 10 necrotic damage to her.
Okay. And you'll see her, Cascade, grasping more in pain as some deathly horror of a image kind of like goes back into her soul.
And then where's the next one that I can see?
There's another one probably like 11 feet from that part. There was like 3 of them that you initially engaged, but there's still a
And
bunch
then-
outside.
And then I'm going to run over to that one.
Okay.
And that's where I'll end my turn.
All right. You have resistance now. A lot of arrows end up hitting into you. So you'll end up taking 35, that's halved. From all the arrows that hit you. You're pincushion with like, you look like Boromir times 10. Aleski, there was a lot of booming going on. You've heard the first boom. Then a second one hit as you were kind of like walking near the outside of the town, to be to alone. It's coming from the farms, and you're not too far away from that. Can't hear you.
I was thinking, I don't think I have that spell, so I'm not sure if it would come to mind exactly what it is. Let's see here. No, not a spell in my repertoire, so not something that I would immediately identify right away as what it is. But it's from the farms.
Still a ruckus.
Well, I guess I'd run back to town, or run back to the area of town where HK and Zindrid generally are, and call out. I hear thunder noise coming from one of the farms, and I'll alert the people in the town, so to speak. I'm not going to run off and
They
adventure
kinda
by
hear
myself in that regard.
So you'll kind of meet. They've Jew and HK will come to you. They've kind of heard it. You don't see Ginger just yet because she's a little bit more into the mayor's house, a little bit farther away.
Yeah, so that's my thing. I would go get people, inform them, and then go as a group as opposed to running out there by myself.
Jew, would you like to run? Because I believe you can go very fast.
Oh, there's a fight afoot, of course.
All right. You will do a full move and a dash action out there. As you get out there, you pretty much, in the distance, you will see Cascade kind of holding her hands up. There seems to be a ruckus of fighting going on with Vaymont fighting some other elves. And there's a bunch of other elves in the woodland trees firing. There's one bigger person that seems to be human standing over the other elves. That's pretty a distance away, but taking amazing crack shots with a very distinct look that you sort of kind of remember, but a little different. Give me a perception check at advantage, please.
$18.
You are at a gasp. Pepper McHollow is firing at your new friends.
Say what?
Cascade, what are you doing now?
Um,
Do you need an initiative from me?
No, I'll put you in the lower in
Okay.
the order.
let me see what this 30 feet. How far away did Vaymont get from me?
He's like 10 feet right now.
Okay.
He just butchered another Eladrin, and he looks like he's going after another one. And the one you just saved is not looking good because he did something ghostly with that one.
I'm gonna yell at him and go, Vaymont, we don't even know what the heck they wanted. Why did you have to go barreling in? Why couldn't you just stop and listen for a minute? And I'm gonna cast Charm Person on him.
They said they wanted to kidnap us. What do you mean they didn't say what they wanted?
Vaymont saving throw.
What's the save?
Yeah, it helps if I click on it and tell you what it is. Wisdom, please.
Wisdom. 9.
Okay.
So that's 8. 18 was the DC. So, you at least see me in a better light. I mean, it's the best I can do, but you're charmed by me now, and I'm trying to convince you to stop.
Yeah, it doesn't change the Eladrin's position on you. So.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, it's back to your turn, Vaymont.
I mean, technically she's beguiled me.
Yeah.
And
it sounds more
wants me
reasonable
to
to
stop fighting.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm more inclined to listen. When that spell ends, I know you've charmed me, right?
Mm-hmm.
No bueno. Alright. So I will refrain from killing the Eladrin that is literally in front of me that I was going to kill.
Mm-hmm.
And I will put my weapon away and put my hands up.
Okay. They now will hold their actions to shoot you if you try to do anything else again. Jew, you're the closest. What would you like to do? The shooting is stopped, thankfully.
I'm the closest to who? Or where?
You're closest to the field of battle, not closest to anyone particularly.
Alright. I will look for... Well, let's see. I will run towards Cascade and Vaymont.
Okay.
And I'll basically, as I'm running towards them, I'll be looking up towards Pepper, kind of waving. Like the stop shooting, stop shooting.
Okay. Roll me a persuasion check, please.
As the next rain of arrows comes in.
A 4. I am so persuasive running down there. Like,
no, don't shoot, don't shoot. All right, HK and Oleski, you have done a hard run. It takes all your movement to get out to the field, but you will see Cascade and Vaymont holding their hands up. There are 2 elves you see next. Well, I see that too bad. There's one elf you see standing right next to Vaymont, and he looks like he's in trouble. The other one is on the ground. You don't see too much of, but there's a bunch of them kind of circling around. Then you see the human person. I need you two to make perception. Well, your perception is too high. HK, don't worry about it. But Oleski, roll me perception.
Vaymont will also drop to one knee. He is really hurt.
Natural 20.
Oh shit! So you definitely.
So there's probably
recognize-
nothing game involving in this one because I rolled really high.
No, well, it's storyboarding. You will notice Pepper is among the Eladrian elves. You recognize her. You recognize the oath bow you gave her. All that. This seems to be the woman that you lost, was killed, and taken from your ship. But again, this is just what you caught up to. Zindrid, you heard several booms, and Laura is at your door, kind of wondering what you two want to do.
From the first boom, Zendrid would have been rearming herself with probably several choice curse words under her breath and heading for the door. So I would imagine she's opening it as Shadow Smite is there, and we'd be headed out to investigate.
Okay, so you're a turn away then. All right. Cascade, everyone seemed to have stopped. You see Jew running to you now with a pathetic, really hand-flailing thing to tell people not to shoot, but no one is shooting. So it did work.
Hey, Ben.
Yes.
Ben, would I, knowing that that's Pepper, and it's very clear that these elves are with her, can I lay on hands 5 points to each of the people?
No, you're not there.
There?
You just are on the outside of the scene.
Okay.
I'm just giving you
Okay.
the advantage to recognize all the players before you're getting into
Okay.
what's going on. So.
As soon as I'm there, that's my first action.
Okay, Jen.
I'm crouched down next to the one that I initially healed. And she's gonna say, Vaymont, they said they would take us, but they also said all they wanted to do was talk. Now come here, please. And I'm trying to sound like a scolding motherly
Okay.
sound.
Persuasion, advantage. Vaymont. Will, disadvantage. You're charmed.
You-
13 for my better
You
persuasion.
said will. That's not actually a thing in the game.
Well, wisdom, sorry. Sort of means will. Thank you.
3-5, baby. 3-5.
From my nat 20 down to the 6. I got an 8.
It's a lot of me givens and takens away this game here. So you feel like a scolded child. That's just sort of kind of ringing into you right now, and that will be that's your thought process is to move towards her, kind of head down, scolded.
Wait, can I? So is she about to get me shot? Because I assume me moving is probably going to get me shot.
No, you don't think, because you're still doing this. You're not gonna change that.
Okay.
And they hear her yelling at you like a child.
I'm older than her. They don't know that, but...
They don't know that.
Everybody's getting yelled at.
I don't think
Okay.
Vaymont knows that, but
Yeah. I feel like I should retitle the title of this episode.
Alright.
All right. You will hear Pepper say, "Shit, I want to do this without them here. Retreat. The field is theirs." Another elf goes, "Pepper, we can't leave the others. They're not prisoners of war. It's what the lady would want. Retreat." And with that, you see them all misty step somewhere in the direction off. You're not really sure what, but they probably have taken off. The one on the ground though didn't get away.
And then there's one that's down.
Yeah, because he didn't
For
hear,
the-
and he didn't hear that either. So there's two. You have two. One still standing there, shit scared, and the one on the ground that is just like thankful she's alive. He's alive right now. And you
So-
are right there.
So do we have 3 then? Because we have one that was in front of me that I was about to kill. We
Yeah.
have one that I killed,
Yeah.
and we have the one that I put on the ground that she healed.
Yes, that is correct. I didn't count the one who's dying.
Okay.
So
Good.
Aleski, HK, and Jew, you are all at where these 3 Eladrin are, and Cascade and Vaymon are.
All right, what's going on? What's going on?
Lay on hands.
Good.
On
5
who?
points to each one that are down. I have
Okay.
2 left.
Okay. So the other elf now is not dead.
And I will make sure they are restrained.
Okay.
HK, why are you doing that?
By that time, Zindrid, you will just see your team in the center of the cornfield.
And I have like 50 arrows in me or something.
Yes. Cascade and Vaymont are Boromired.
I'm going to cast Mass Cure Wounds on myself, on Vaymont, and on the other 3. If I can find out where it went.
There's only 2
There
that
it
are
is.
wounded. He just scared the other one. He didn't cut that one.
Well, I thought she was, because she was down, and I think I only gave her like 14.
Yeah, but I'm just saying 2 of the elves are wounded. The third one isn't wounded.
Okay,
He's just
so
Let
then
me know, and let me know when the charm fades.
an
And
hour.
Yeah, and HK is pretty badly damaged in case there's extra room in that mass heal.
Okay.
There's room. How many can I get?
HK's jacked up.
Up to 6 creatures within a 30-foot radius.
Okay, well, you can get Zinder too, because she hasn't quite fully healed yet.
Where'd it go?
Well, while that's going on, I will
24.
I will look at Alexi and say, Pepper was in the tree line shooting down at them.
You said
I did
20. You said 24.
24.
I did see something that looked like Pepper, yes, but I didn't get a close enough look.
I'm pretty sure it was her. I don't know who she was with.
Would you look at that? I'm just barely above bloodied now.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Zinder and Laura show up after you guys are doing your healing stuff, so.
They're restrained, but I am treating them gently. I just want to make sure they don't try to run off, and their weapons are segregated away from them so that they can't just reach out and start stabbing people.
They seem to be resigned to be prisoners of war after this little conflict happened.
The
Give them their
spokesperson,
weapons and let them go.
Cass is gonna put her hand on her shoulder. You said it was a female, right?
Yes.
And I'm gonna look at her. I'm not casting anything, but I'm gonna say, was this worth all the trouble? What the hell did you guys want?
We were told to get you two away from them.
Why?
I only do orders from the lady.
What lady?
Check my notes real quick. Lady O'Hara. I'm not sorry, wrong one. Lady Hestus.
Lady, who's that? She an elf too?
Yeah.
Who is this Lady Hestus, and what in the name of the Shadow Queen is going on here?
Zindred, I'm gonna bow low. Well, they wanted to kidnap us, so I fought back because I don't recall you saying that I could be kidnapped. And they shot at us, if you can't tell. And then Cass over here healed our friend on the ground after I tried to kill her, and then did some other voodoo stuff to me.
You wouldn't know yet. You're still.
Oh, I don't know
charmed.
that yet. Okay, sorry.
It lasts for an hour.
We're out of that part.
The jury will strike that.
The jury should- But I feel she did it in the best interest of my heart, though.
And then she told me to stop attacking them, and she scolded me, so I stopped attacking them.
It is best.
Lady Zindred, he struck the first blow, and they said they wanted to talk. Now, they did say they were going to take us, but they said they were going to talk. I just wanted to... The only reason I didn't get involved right away was because I didn't know if they actually just wanted to talk right here without taking us anywhere.
Your naivety is entertaining, child. There's no way to know, since you weren't taken beyond questioning these, who they were or what their intentions were once they took you. But I do not disagree with you at all, Vaymont. No one takes me against my will, unless I choose it.
Oh, I wasn't
Thank
gonna
you,
let him
ladies and
take
gent-
us.
But I'm neither of
You're
your
shitty.
mothers.
I'm gonna go up to one of the captains? Question mark.
Okay, there's the one who looks like she's been bleeding, so she has blood from her neck or chest, and then
I-
she's like got some black marks on her. Then there's the one who got his throat ripped out, and then there's the one who's just been scared. He hasn't been touched.
I'll go to the one that looks scared because the one with the throat cut out is probably not gonna be talking much.
Zender will move around healing all of everyone that's alive.
Okay,
I gave the 5-point laying on of hands.
they
that
seem
I had,
okay now,
although-
but I'm just letting you know that's the still remnants of the description of things that happened.
But
Yeah.
I'll ask that one. How do you know Pepper?
She's the captain.
I did not know her well, but I thought she was dead.
That isn't a problem in the spring court.
Who's Pepper?
She was the leader over the group. She was in the tree line firing down on you. She's probably the one that hit you the most, to be honest. She's a good shot.
She's
Okay.
she's a former
shall remember
comrade.
her.
She's a former ally. We do not
Former
know.
ally.
This is directly to Vaymont. We do not know exactly what her allegiance is now. To their credit, they did not harm you when we were trying to speak first, as opposed to drawing blood.
But they were all ready to attack. I could tell that.
I'm not saying that you should not have attacked. I'm simply saying take her off your list.
Okay, understood.
She had accepted the favor of the Queen of the Spring Court when we were in the Feywood. She also chose the path of silk to rescue and save her. I think she felt that she was a fellow, what's the word I want to use? Abused woman. Being shackled and caged. Cut to Pepper's heart.
So you all know her to be a good and true companion,
Yes.
but her allegiance is to the Fey Court that you have broken faith with.
Unfortunately, yes.
Well,
All true statements.
Laura will go, wait a minute. That was the body down the hole, right?
Yes.
She's back alive.
Yes.
so it would seem.
Well, lady. That means they can bring back right out.
The Fey,
Yeah.
those high enough in our own faith, can perform a full resurrection. I do not believe that that's what he would have wanted.
As you wish.
No, not as I wish. Let us talk of this further as we go, because the length of time once you move to a spell of that magnitude isn't as important. So let us discuss it. You knew him as well, or because I was also his commander, possibly better than I.
The Fae
But-
would exact a price, Zinder.
Indeed, I don't intend to use the Fae. If I ever intend to have Rydell resurrected, it would be through my own faith. It would be through the Raven Queen. I had not thought of this as a recourse because he knew that one day his end would come in battle, and he was content with that. Who am I to pull him from whatever afterlife he's in now? Only to suffer more.
I meant no insult. I just thought he'd rather have fallen as a sacrifice by your side than the way those fucking Knights of Nine got him.
And that's why I do want to talk about it with you, because if we, as his companions, feel that's something that he would have wanted together, we'll find a way to make it happen.
She nods. What would you like to do?
We need strict protocols. People cannot be alone. Groups of 3 at a minimum. We have to remain closer together than we have been.
HK, you're not going to like this, but I agree with you, and I think that also means that Vivian must come with us. She'll be a target now.
Understood.
This is the second time within a day that we've been attacked here, so we might want to think about moving earlier.
Indeed.
Baymont's gonna side-eye Jew and then look at Lady Zindred and say, Lady Zindred, we must speak later about those you have chosen to travel with.
Indeed, I need to know what you know, but based on your tone, I think you probably judge it wrongly.
I also agree with you. If nothing else, if we stay here, we're going to put these townsfolk at danger.
You put everybody in danger.
You still like me, technically.
I can say that and still like you.
Say that still.
Valmont, just because Mr. Fluffykins does not automatically go for blood, does not make them wrong.
Oh, you just put everybody in danger, sugar.
Right?
Little danger for you, little danger for you.
Lee, if you did
Oh
that
no,
in
Julie,
character-
you're like a magnet.
If you
for
had done that in
random
character, I would have
gunfire.
gave you inspiration with that one.
These, in my opinion, though it is completely up to you, you may as well let them go. Get what you can from them for their purposes or any information they have, but I don't think you can count your former ally as an ally any longer.
I would agree.
So why would we release them, Lady Zindred?
What would you
To
have us do with
show
them?
we-
I'm not going to put anyone to death nor leave them in this town.
You don't think you could get any information out of them?
I just said that they are welcome to get any information they choose. As this is their previous companion, it's more of their personal matter than anything else for the information they need. For you and I, we know that Pepper now sides with the Fae, and the Fae stand against us. So hopefully she will simply be one of the many people chasing behind us as we move forward now and pursue our goals in earnest.
Lady
I
Zindrig, if we choose to leave now and walk through the night to get away, put distance between us and the town, how much time would you give us to prepare and give me to question these two?
We'll still leave in the morning. Just have
Okay.
everyone stay close within the square.
Are we camping out?
Or the buildings surrounding it, within earshot. Perhaps we should all be under the same roof tonight.
The mayor's house, then?
Seems best.
Or the inn.
Or the inn. There's much more ale there for Zhu and Valesky and yourself. Well, HK, do you actually drink the ale?
No.
Can you drink the ale?
No, he
Yes.
can't. I was teasing him.
I am fully functional.
Awesome.
So Zindred, you're gonna head back to the town, leaving.
And Zendra turns back to the town to leave them to do what they will with the captives.
Okay. Just as you
She's
turn
not-
away, Laura grabs the woman, the female Eladrin, and leans towards her and says to her, "If you ever come back to this town again and threaten my lady, hurt her in any way, I'm gonna make sure you stay dead." And she's kind of getting fond of the boy after we've lost a friend. So if you hurt him, which hurts my lady's feelings, I'll skin you. And then she just lets her go. The elf looks pretty frightened. And Laura follows you.
Zendard raises an eyebrow and, uncharacteristically given the type of day, has a small half smile at the shift Shadow Smite's behavior.
Okay. You feel, for the once, the two of you have gotten a step closer. Although the
Yes,
cost
no,
was not-
we're bonding over this, and I know that she may be evil as sin, but if it brings her closer to me, I'll use whatever tools I can.
Indeed.
For my part, I'll let the crowd dissipate a bit. Will take them back towards the well, so I'm closer into town. But I intend to question them. Everybody else can congregate in the inn. I would ask Vivian to join the group, so she's with them. But I'm going to question them.
Okay.
Um,
So you do that. So anybody staying with HK to question the three prisoners?
Oh, I will.
Chu does.
I would like to.
Vaymont stays.
All right, more than one person to stay outside, then I can go elsewhere. But before I do, I'll look at HK. Mr. HK, just remember, you said this person had been a friend. If nothing else, these two can bring a message back so you can find out what has happened, why she's not your friend anymore. And without giving him a chance to say anything, she's gonna turn into an owl and go perch on one of the rooftops.
Okay.
To play devil's advocate.
don't say that.
Ooh.
Um,
Rico, you have inspiration.
You are!
None of Pepper's former team, us, were present in this little area, so she might not have known that you guys were with us.
She recognized us when we came.
And that might be why she stopped and left.
Exactly. I will turn to the one who was the most scared.
Okay.
And I will lean in, relax my eyebrows,
Okay.
and I will smile-ish and say, I am no torture specialist. I am not here to harm you. And at the end of this, you are most likely to be released. The questions I have for you will either bring your people, the courts, and ours closer to a positive resolution, or further apart, deeper into a war, when the real battle has nothing to do with our two factions against each other. We were allied against a common foe. And whatever differences and errors of judgment that may have happened should not change the fact that the common foe goes stronger while we pick each other apart. I don't want to end one member of any of the courts. I don't want to lose another member of our team. I am here asking you to bring a message of peace to the courts. They don't have to like us. They don't have to befriend us, but they need to let us do our job. They need to let us gather the last stone and save Spero. I have used all of my essence and energies that I have remaining to heal you before I heal me. And when we leave in the morning, I will leave under strength, exhausted, run down, less able to protect even myself and my friends and my family, because I so strongly believe that Spero must be saved. And it cannot happen if we are at war with the Fae. Will you please take this message to your leader, your captain? Will you please plead the case of peace, or at least a temporary pause, while we save the lands, both Fae and mortal? I was once part of the court that has been taken from me by a decision that was never mine to make. I would serve them today as long as the cause was saving Spero.
The woman scoffs a bit. I'll deliver your
who
message.
scoffs?
The woman. I'll deliver your message. You're not gonna like the answers.
I ask of you, plead our case. If peace is not an option, a ceasefire until we can save Spero. And if need be, I'll make a persuasion roll.
Go ahead, give me a persuasion roll.
That's a 27.
Wow. Okay. She just looks at you and she says,
I'll undo her bindings. I'll hand her weapons. That's all I ask. Be well and be safe. May we never have to meet on the field of battle.
I know Pepper has feelings for you guys. But remember, we still serve the lady and the queen. What you have done is criminal to us. Your negotiations can't be done through us. It has to be done with someone of power.
Have them meet us under a flag of truce, and we will negotiate.
I will take you, and you alone. If you want the ways of your team to be safe, then the olive branch that you must take. Otherwise, your impetuous actions have spoken for themselves.
I'm a soldier of the forge. I will stand in the breach so that my team will succeed.
I'm not sure this is the best idea, Mr. Hephaestus.
You are not going anywhere.
I am the soldier of a league, and if I have to stand in front of a wildfire, I too shall do so. Make your decision, Sir Knight. Follow or stay, but that choice now is on you.
I turn my head to the others.
The elves are beginning to walk.
I turn my head as I walk. We will be harassed, and this will not end. They will pick us off one at a time. I do this for the mission. Allow me to repair what Firebrand has rended us under. Tell Zindred, and I walk.
I
We've
don't think
already
she'll be too happy.
HK, we've already had this conversation. We must continue our mission. If they feel they want to step...
Just yell at him, Jew.
Yeah, I followed, Ben.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for what Jew's doing, because he looks, for once, he's getting a little taste of his own medicine, so.
I let him go.
I left him.
All right,
I left
cool.
him speechless.
Within a couple of minutes, Zindred, you will be informed of what had just transpired. I'm sure. I'll let you
Yep.
or Baymont tell you.
For sure.
I'll let Baymont break things. He's good at that.
Yeah.
You're probably past the hour.
Yeah, I'm sure, but I'm not gonna kill you in your sleep. It's okay.
I'm an owl. I'm up top watching.
You still have to sleep.
All right. So, HK, you follow the elves into the woods. You don't have to go very far. You go about, say, about 60 feet. You will run into an old friend. It is definitely Pepper.
Zendred, by the way, would flip over a bureau or a china cabinet or something going, "He did what?"
Yep. Yep. I shall definitely tell Zindred. That's how I will start the conversation when I go see Zindred.
Mommy, you don't know what Timmy just did.
Yeah, basically.
None of the elves
Pepper.
are pointing arrows at you or Pepper.
Are your people okay?
You're bringing it back. They look well.
How did it come to this?
We meant to get the two away from you and the others.
To what end, if I may ask?
From what you've been doing.
We're trying to complete the mission, Pepper.
True. But you took a big cost. There are other ways to do it, but apparently reasoning wasn't into it from what the lady tells me.
You've known Firebrand for some time.
I did. But
Reasoning.
some people change on us, obviously.
Reasoning is not a strong suit.
Well, he's a wizard. It should have been, because he only lives because of my lady. His second life came from the spring court. He spat on his legions. He was Titania's greatest prize. It was her way of waging the war against the Queen of Air and Darkness. He spat on that. Hephaestus, he spat on it. He took gifts. You took gifts. We all took gifts.
And I would have served indefinitely. I had every intention of it. I couldn't stop him.
Like you said, people have changed on us. But I wanted to let you know. I speak to you because I know what your intentions are. The pride that you have in your role that you serve. But I wanted you to know that's why. You know I've come from human roots. But there's one thing you don't do to the Fae. You don't back out of your word. You can't back out of your word. It's binding, Hephaestus. It's soul-crushing to the Fae. What he thinks is a passing of a moment for his own intentions. He grew up in the Fae courts, Hephaestus. He broke her soul. Titania's a bit mad now. That's what he did. This is what we're in the aftermath of.
How can I make this right?
I don't know, Hephaestus. You're talking to the Queen's call. All I'm doing is trying to make a bridge to what was the chaos that was around you. But it's going to probably take a big favor. A huge favor. That man was reborn for the Queen of Summer.
I want to make this right.
I know you do. I do too.
Can we at least leave the people of Greenwood out of this? We'll leave the town. We'll move on with our mission. Please don't harm these innocent people. They were your people once too.
Lady O'Hara doesn't want any of us involved. But Titania rules. And Summer is fire. And he wants wrath. That's what he's taken. We know what's going on. The two of them are about to burn the woods. Leaders like that, my friend, have casualties and collateral damage.
What favor would they ask of us?
What would you ask a
What-
queen whose word has been broken?
The knight who never broke his word would ask her to spare her anger long enough to ask me to provide a service.
You willing to go to the queen and say that yourself?
Do I have a choice, Pepper? I have to make this right. I have to spare the people of Greenwood. I have to spare my team so they can finish this mission. There's a world to save. If the last bit of service I can give in my duty as a member of the Summer Court is to offer my service again, this time to the Queen herself, rather than be the bodyguard and protector of her prize, then that's what I will do.
Persuasion check.
$26.
Oof. You know what'll happen if you go in the woods, Hephaestus. You don't know when you'll come back. And I emphasize the word when.
I know.
But I can't argue with you. You've always been steady and wise. If you will do this, I will take you.
Then I'll go.
You go?
I go.
Shala. Yes, Captain. Go back to the others. Your sacrifice will be noted, but they need to know. She goes, fuck. She walks the other direction. After some time, you guys take about 20 minutes, the elf that you initially was wounded, the female, comes back. Alone. She has no bow. Hands in the air. Well, she doesn't have hands. She just kind of walks firmly up to, we'll say, Aleski and Cascade, because you'll be the ones hanging out.
Well, I think Cass would have seen her coming because Cass is an owl on a rooftop.
Yep.
And she doesn't. I mean, Alexi was inside, right?
This time out, he's kind of like at the porch.
Okay.
This is basically her coming back into town.
Then Cass will sail down and drop her wild shape next to to stand next to Alexi.
Okay. This woman comes back up to you.
But she will report ahead of time and say that HK's not with. She's coming back and HK's not with her.
Yeah, she's alone.
I certainly didn't expect your return so soon,
Yeah, me neither.
or in such a meager way.
Your friend is not coming back by his choice. He's going to see the queens.
You mean like ever or tonight?
By that statement, both.
He goes to the Feywild. He goes to the courts.
Opportunity for Zender to notice something's going on?
Your passive perception is high enough, yes. And Vaymon. Jew has been in the tankard enough now.
Then I would assume she was already striding towards the conversation. Was she able to hear the last bit
The last sentence, yes.
that he's chose not to come back on of his own choice,
Yes.
and that he went to speak to the queens?
Yes.
Greenwood will stride up, saying, "We leave in the morning. Expect him returned, and see that he is returned to us on the road."
Yelling at her.
Not yelling, just speaking in a stern voice.
She kind of looks at you, Oleski. Help, will you help answer?
Sindred, it's not a choice that can be made, but the unpredictable magic of the Fae. The last time we entered the wood, we arrived back here 2 weeks in time before we entered the wood. We had gone effectively back in time and had to relive several weeks over, though we relived it differently.
I've heard the tales, and I do understand. And she turns back to the elf and looks at her and says, "But I also understand that he is going to meet with your queens, not their lackeys, not with some duke or bishop of the courts, but the queens, and they can choose. And I expect them to. Make sure they know."
Okay. Shala will walk away.
So I can't kill her this time. Damn it.
I mean, if somebody else has something to say, she doesn't have to walk away. That's just Zendrid's message. Second message she sent to the Fae court in 2 days, mind you. Because the other one was to try to stop this originally with, "You need to stop this until this is over."
And this is how they answered, apparently. So, good stuff.
It's got nasty. All right. Well, we have a little pause. Our group will be trying to find one of the last two of the Sin Stones, but HK has gone to try to make peace with the Fae, so we will have to try to resolve that as we have a good party split. Liwanika, you do me proud because you have done what I've done in your campaign, so kudos. So we will gather again. Do you gentlemen have a January date that works for you?
Give me a second. Let me bring up the calendar.
Gentlemen.
And gentle lady.
Well, it's the 2 tabletop journey people, because I know they have a busy schedule.
I think most of January we're largely
Good news,
clear.
we're available on the 1st.
Aren't most people?
We don't have anything on the books yet for Sundays in January. We're pretty open.
Sundays are clear.
Okay, why don't we aim for, let's say, then the 8th?
Okay.
All right.